Hello and welcome to Viewpoint. I'm joined today by Bohdan Zhuk, coordinator of Ukrainian Film Corner at the Berlin International Film Festival. Bohdan, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You've just returned from the Berlin Film Festival, the 66th, I believe.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Ukrainian Film Corner there. What was your mission?
Well, the 66th Berlin Film Festival is probably the biggest, arguably the biggest film festival in the world, and it has a big segment, the European film market, for professionals in film industry. So this is, well, for that term, for the duration of the festival, it's a meeting point for the whole world film industry. And Ukrainian Film Corner is a national stand at this film market that aims to represent the, well, everything that is being made in Ukraine in film. All the films that have been finished, works in progress. We try to connect people, to establish some contacts, and to develop some connections, to have some progress
Sure.
for connecting the international film industry with Ukrainian film professionals.
Yeah.
And it was organized together with the State Film Agency of Ukraine. I work for the Molodist International Film Festival in Kyiv, and we did that jointly with the agency. And for 9 days we worked there to get Ukrainian film promoted and
promote Ukrainian film. And what did you? Is it much about getting Ukrainian films out to the world as much as bringing perhaps other directors, producers, actors into the world of Ukrainian cinema as well? To bring them to this country, potentially? Yeah,
it's both, I would say, equally, because we try to connect people. Well, there are lots of international film industry professionals like distributors and producers who are interested already in working in Ukraine, filming in Ukraine perhaps,
Yes.
maybe working with Ukrainian producers, offering them their own projects. Well, there are lots of possibilities.
Does Ukraine offer something unique in terms of, for example, a filming location or a post-production location?
Well, we have some of those. There's a big studio in Ukraine that does post-production, but also production, Film UA. But they had their own stand at the film market, and
Okay.
we aimed more at just getting people connected. So. Well, we have all the contacts of the people who attend Berlinale, and so anyone who is interested, we try to find the people they would be possibly interested in working with. So it's kind of a connecting point only. So
Okay.
because it's difficult to get people interested really just by information. You have to be there all the time. People need to go there.
Absolutely. And what was the overall feeling for you about the success of the Film Corner at Berlin? Did you feel like people who otherwise would not have engaged with Ukrainian film are now more aware of it?
I think so, yes, because personal connections are really important for this. Well, of course, you can always find an email or a telephone, just a contact if you're interested. But if we're there, it really facilitates these connections, these contacts. We had, well, one of the Ukrainian film projects was involved in the co-production market. It's one of the segments of Berlinale. So it was called Tank. It is called Tank. Directed by Maxim Ksonda and produced by Max Serduk, and they won one of the major awards there.
Okay.
They pitched their film project, so they haven't started production. They only have their script, I suppose, and they have planned their production. And their presentation won one of the main awards, and they got 10,000 euro for production. So this also brings the attention of international producers to this.
What is that film about? Do you know? Because I'm just wondering, what is it now? What is it that Ukrainian film is offering? I mean, I assume at the moment we might still be living in this age where Ukrainian filmmakers are talking and making movies about Maidan, about the uprising that we've had here over the last couple of years. Is that an accurate picture of the film market?
Well, I would say Maidan and
war,
the war in
course.
eastern Ukraine are two of the big subjects in film too. There are lots of documentaries on that, but people are also trying to do other things, and this project in particular, Tank, is not connected to that. It's about a boy, a teenager, who finds an old Second World War tank, half dug up in a forest, and he tries to sell it. So it's not connected.
Not directly, no.
Not directly.
Still has a war
yes,
theme.
It does.
Idea.
So maybe that's rethinking, reimagining of some subject connected to what is right now relevant for many Ukrainians. Well,
do you think that it's good that Ukrainian filmmakers are making films about perhaps the war in East Ukraine or about Maidan and about the difficulties and the struggles here? I wonder because for Western audiences, for example, for international audiences, that is actually quite interesting. So in a way, Ukraine can capitalize on this moment to actually propel itself into world cinema a bit more.
Yes, I think so. That's what got a lot of people interested when it happened. So they would be still curious to see a documentary or a fiction film about this, and to see maybe what Ukrainians think of that. And if we're talking about Maidan, that happened 2 years ago, and so some time has passed, and maybe foreigners would be interested in seeing what we think now, after some time has passed and some progress could have been made.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we might see more nuanced pictures of what happened, yes. More in-depth ideas. Your presence at the Berlin Festival is one, as I understand it, a number of campaigns that you take part in. You travel to various film festivals around the world. What's the reaction been like generally from the public?
I would say people are more and more interested in Ukrainian cinema. We've seen that from the London the Ukrainian Film Days in London we held in December. Before that, we had similar events in Munich and Paris, and we always go to big film festivals like Berlinale and Cannes, and the attention is always big, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, people are interested in getting connected with this region by working here or by working with Ukrainian filmmakers. They do look for new things, and Ukraine is somewhat new, I would say.
Ukraine is quite new, isn't it? I would say. Bogdan, we're almost out of time. So finally, then, I think going forward, what do you expect to see? Do you think ultimately Ukraine needs to move away from these themes of war and conflict? And are we going to see more films on different subjects going forward? Or should Ukraine simply stick with those things because that's what people know about it?
Well, I think the important thing for Ukrainian filmmakers is to do what they know. So if they know the subject of war or Maidan firsthand, it's good if they do something about that because it will be truthful. Sometimes they make something that is far from reality, to be honest, and it's not so good. So I don't see any problem with them working on these subjects like Maidan or the war. But ultimately, I would say they will do that, but also step aside from these subjects and do something else. I can mention Israel, the Israeli filmmaking. There are lots of films there about war and the conflict, well, their political situation, their geopolitical situation, and they are always interesting. And I would say that Ukrainians need to do something similar.
Fantastic. All right. Well, hopefully, yes, Ukraine will play to its strong suit. Bohdan, we're out of time, unfortunately, but many thanks for coming to speak with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You've been watching Viewpoint. I've been joined by Bohdan Zhuk, the coordinator of the Ukrainian Film Corner at the Berlin International Film Festival. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching, and do join us again.